Did a GT4 race at the Nurburgring, and as the lights went green, everyone decided to start crashing. The front runners hadn't taken the rolling start very well, and a lot of us had a lot more pace, and things went absolutely pear-shaped. As you can see here, this is what I saw. Surprise cars. At this point, I was thinking there's going to be a big crash here. And so I started backing off. I didn't expect this. Thankfully, I didn't have major damage. And I actually had some pretty good pace in the wet. Wet weather always means survival. And I was doing a decent job until I missed my braking zone here and had a little bit of contact. Again, thankfully it was only minor, unlike this. And I managed to take 4th. Back to something I was more comfortable with, GT3s in my Porsche, this time at Bathurst. The field all here bunched up after that spin, and this black car decided I wanted to join in that spin. Thankfully I didn't. As always, Bathurst claims many cars, and more leaders went into walls, and I made my way up through the field. And then I almost completely threw it away. Again, thankfully not major damage, but it did make my car a bit slower down the straights, which cost me a few positions. But I did hold on to get a top 10. Took on the longer race, qualified down the order, and that means you're at the mercy of the field for crashes like this, and this. But I had no one to blame for this one. It was all me. At least I didn't have to pit for this one. And so I was just relying on people bidding it so I could actually make up spots. And even the pit exit isn't safe. And suddenly there's a surprise car. As the race went on, I found myself in some deep battles in the mid-pack. Still having a lot of fun, but definitely didn't have the pace with the damage I had taken. And again, just a sitting duck down straights. But at least I finished in 14th. The rain seemed to be following me as I went to Hockenheim. But I knew I'd just be patient. Unfortunately, every other car on the track was not. And I soon found myself facing the wrong way. This pretty much ruined my race. And I slowly made my way up through some few positions in the field. That was a fun pass. But still, this race was nothing to write home about. In the shorter race, I qualified near the front, and it was dry. And this crash saw me in the top 3. As we pushed on, I ended up having more battles with a few other faster cars. Thankfully this was all clean and lots of good fun. And I managed to get a top 3. Then the next time out, I was at Motegi, a track I actually did not know at all. But I needed one more long race to get my participation, so we gave it a go. And I was just trying to keep out of everyone's way. And sometimes that meant dodging them. But it turned out I had okay pace. And I quickly found myself well within the top 10. Unfortunately, I was in the way of that car, and that put me all the way back to the back of the field. And so, I finished 14th, quite disappointed. To reward myself for all the hard work, I decided to do a Toyota race at Bathurst. Not expecting much, just having some fun. And you know, in lower licenses you expect this sort of chaos. Especially around Bathurst. Still, running P4, looking good, and then P3, absolutely binned it. I suddenly found myself in the podium positions, but I had quite a few faster drivers coming back up through the field. But we had a fair battle, but eventually it was smarter to let them go rather than have a humongous accident. I was just happy I was battling near the front, to be honest. This is a car I don't usually drive. Still, settling in the P5 with lots of gap behind me, I brought the car home. Then Dan said, let's do something silly. So we did the Nordschleife with the mini stocks. I was terrified. There was cars all around me, cars going off, and I just wanted to keep on the black stuff. Dan here got a little tap, and that put him through the grass and then into this car. Yep, accidents were happening everywhere. And you had to keep your wits above you to avoid just finding a random car sideways. I was definitely trying not to get in people's way, but I didn't have heaps of pace or confidence. And sometimes following the car ahead's line isn't advisable. My only contacts seemed to be coming from other cars pushing through. It did mean I was looking good for a top 12 finish. Dan started making up positions too, and as I went towards the checkered flag, I managed to sneak one more spot. And just hold on for 12th, and that was my season 3.